So I'm going to show you how to put a wrap on. What you need is some scissors, a stick or some tweezers, a nail file, a rough one, and I also use a glass nail file. You need an alcohol wipe. If you don't have an alcohol wipe, you can use medical mess or just normal mess or isopropyl alcohol or white vinegar. White vinegar works well as well. You need a plastic bag and of course your wrap, and I also use a metal cuticle spoon. I'll show you how I use that afterwards. This is optional. And one of these is, it's a rubber cuticle pusher, and it honestly is my favorite tool. It really gets in there and pushes quite hard, that I'll show you in a moment. So first of all, you need to prep your nails. You need to push back all your cuticles, and I usually do this after washing dishes or after shower where they're really nice and soft. Gotta make sure you don't have any invisible cuticle. I had this really thin layer just growing down my nail, and if it's there, the jamberry won't stick. So I only found that out once I washed my dishes and started kind of pushing them back with a stick or a cuticle pusher, and it was quite amazing, really. So after pushing your cuticles back, you can file to the shape that you want it, and then you need to wash your hands. Using dishwashing liquid is really great because it does actually take all the oil off, and if you wash your hands with a nice moisturizing soap, then it will leave a layer of oil on, and you don't want that on your nails, or the jamberry won't stick, or it won't stick very well. So you wash your hands and then you wipe your nails with the alcohol wipe or the white vinegar. So that's just to really make sure there's no oil left on your nail. So I'll do that one there. So just wipe. Let that dry. So with a jamberry wrap, with the adhesive, you've got to make sure that it doesn't touch your skin on the outside, it doesn't touch your cuticle, and you don't touch the back of the wrap or touch your nail again, because all the oils in your fingers will get onto your nail and it'll get onto the adhesive, and it'll start to break down the adhesive really quick, and they won't last. So you need to choose the nail that the wrap fits. So you just kind of put it on your nail, put it to one side, and you want a little gap of nail shine, so when you do put it on, it won't be touching the sides of your fingers. Okay, so I know that this one fits that finger. So you cut it in half. And then on the cut edge, so not the round bit, the cut edge, you take it off the backing. And then you just really just it in on there. So I just popped it on the top of my nail, and then this bit here is not going to be touching my nail, so I can actually touch it with my fingers. So you just really carefully just line it up and just sit it on the top. It's sticking to my sticking to my finger. Okay, so if you can see, it's just sitting on there, it's not actually stuck down, so I can move it quite easily. And then you can wiggle it around, make sure it's on there properly, make sure it's not touching the cuticle, and when it's going to go down, so it's just sitting there. Then you heat it up. So if you can see, it will go a little bit floppy, so any heat source will work. You can use your hairdryer. I've had people use a candle and a gas stove even. So you can see it's curled, it's gone all nice and soft. So what you do now is the other finger, you press down near the cuticle, go straight up the middle, and then from the cuticle you go out around the other side, and then you just really smooth it and just make sure it's all nice and smooth. Then using your rubber cuticle pusher, which I just dropped, or your stick, or another cuticle pusher of some sort, you push it down really hard and all around the outside so you get a really good seal. And you want to trim the excess off. So I'm not trimming really close to my nail, it's just so I don't have all that overhanging. So if you can see my nails back there, and I've just got an extra bit on the end. Get your plastic bag. So this is tip number 1. Get the plastic bag and you pull it down tight over the end, so that's just going to get a really good seal on the tip there, and then you heat it up. So the plastic bag works like a little mini glass house, and it gets quite hot quite quick. So take that off, and then once again really press. So you really want to press around the edges to make that seal really good. And down the middle. It's easy just doing it on a hard surface. Okay, so now what I'd normally do is go on to my next nails. And so I'd start with my thumb, and then I'd work my way along, and by the time I'm finished, the first one's really cool. You don't want to file it while it's hot. So we'll just pretend it's cold. To file, you need to go down on a 90-degree angle. So you get your file and you go down, then off, down, off. You don't want to go up and down because it will tug the wrap upwards. And you don't want to go back and forth because again it will be tugging the wrap back and forth, and it just won't get that good seal. So you go down, and you'll see it starting to come away from my nail there. So I'm not actually filing my nail, I am just filing off the wrap. So there we go. So tip number 2 is using the glass file. When we use our fingers, we're always scratching, we're using them as tools. Using the glass file at a 45-degree angle would just take that little tip off. So when we're scratching and using our fingers as tools, we're not scratching at the wrap. So you can see there's only a little bit coming off. It's going to focus. Oh. So you can see just a little bit coming off there. So it's just a tiny little bit. So normally I'd go along and file all my nails, and then I come back and I heat one more time. And when I heat this time, I use my metal spoon, and so I heat that up as well, and I just use it as an iron. And I just really iron on the wrap. You can see. So I just really push it down. Just really iron it on there. So it takes heat and pressure to make the wrap stick, and it's done. There's no dry time, it's all ready to go. So, if you can see that, if it's going to focus. Oh, there we go. So it's nice and smooth, and that will be on my finger for a good 2 weeks. Hey, have fun!